Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the PowerWomen podcast.
This is a show where powerful women share their journeys, discuss powerful issues, and the men and women who help us rise.
And we are your hosts with three very different backgrounds and very different perspectives. I'm Brandi Jo Newman.
I'm Gayatri Agnew.
And I'm your power mom, Claire Brown. Hey, this is it. I'm so excited. It's our first episode together. And hello, Gayatri Agnew and Brandi Jo Newman. How are y'all?
Hey, Claire.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey,
Power
girl.
Women
Hey.
podcast. Brandi Jo, you look like a real podcaster today.
I'm a pro. I've got
You look
the
like
other
a
two.
pro.
I've got the other two all lined up, and I'm going live on your favorite platform, Rumble, next week.
Oh, I have no idea what she just said.
Yeah,
Makes me want to rumble.
Exactly. About 48% of Americans will know what Rumble is. So.
Oh, good. Thank you for telling me that I'm out of touch with 48% of America. That's what I needed to start my day off right.
And Gayatri, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to connect and get in tune with each other.
That's right. That's right.
What this podcast is all about.
So Claire, you're letting us into your world.
Yes,
you're opening up your brilliant podcast.
That's right. So, in this podcast, I really appreciate Turner and Rash, attorneys at law, helping us be here today. So if you guys ever need to go to anyone with your family law needs, definitely give Sydney Rash and Presley Turner a call. And we have an upcoming episode with them, and we dive into so many things that are needed for women in the legal field and their legal needs, which is a huge thing that we see come through the PowerWomen platform. So I can't wait for everybody to learn more about them. And you can give them a call at 501-835-6792. And they're located here in Little Rock on Spring Street. And so, I firmly believe that we only succeed through others. And the PowerWomen platform is a way that not only have women connected, and they've learned how to learn from others with different perspectives. We've learned so much about all different women, and it's fabulous. I think that the theme this year is inclusion for women, for History Month for women. And what better way to shake up the podcast, go along with that, than to include different perspectives of women so that we can show what that really looks like.
So here we are.
I love it, Claire, and thank you so much for including me. You want to tell everybody about how you got the three of us together and where it all started?
I really do. I love it so much. So, the two of you are some of my closest and dearest, and we've been connected for years, and people don't really know that. Gayatri and you, Brandi Jo, both are in the political arena, which I am not. So I find that interesting. But you're both very, very different. You have different beliefs, opinions, and perspectives, and different party affiliations many times. And so a dear friend of mine here in Arkansas in Little Rock said, you need to meet this Gayatri Agnew girl. And that happened, it's really 6 years ago. And so I did. I connected with Gayatri then, and we've helped grow Northwest Arkansas PowerWomen and just done a lot of collaboration over the years together.
And probably, Claire, worth noting that we actually met on your podcast. Like we hadn't met. And then Ashley was like, y'all got to meet. And we were like, okay, of course we will. And we were going to chat before the episode, but then we didn't. So the first time I ever met Claire, she was interviewing me on this podcast. So it is like so full circle. It is so fun to now be coming on here as the co-host.
I mean, isn't that the way Oprah does it? She doesn't. That
would only make sense.
Right. Very, very true. Yeah. And, Gayatri, you're a mom, and you're a working mom. And tell us a little bit of who you are, what you do.
Well, first of all, all moms are working moms. Some moms just get paid for their work. So that's probably worth noting. But I
Thank you
am
for
a mom
that.
who
Well
happens to be,
said.
no problem. I am a mom who happens to be paid by an employer in addition to receiving the incredible human compensation of raising tiny people for the future. So yeah, I have a 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. I work at Walmart up in Northwest Arkansas. And I was raised by a single mom, and I think the thing I love most in the world is supporting other women. So not an accident that I would both be interested in collaborating with you, Claire, but also excited to be co-hosting this podcast. What else do you need to know about me? I also love to karaoke. And I sit on Bentonville City Council. Yeah, those are the most important pieces besides the 7-year-old and the 9-year-old.
Yeah, you serve a lot. So the Bentonville City Councilwoman piece is just a very small fraction of your service that you do. I'll say that.
Correct. Comes right under my karaoke singing abilities, which are bar none.
Right. And then there's Brandi Jo. Brandi Jo, you're in South Texas.
I am in South Texas, San Antonio, Texas right now. I am at the studios of Peachtree Rose Marketing. They have very graciously allowed me to use their studio today.
Nice. Very nice of them. And so you and I met right
like
at the beginning of 2020.
Bang, pre-COVID, pre-pandemic.
Yep.
We started the party.
We did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna let you describe or tell the story.
I know.
Because when Claudia and I go to dinner with new people that we meet, they all, they ask the origin story, and I let her tell it. So I'm gonna let my podcast wife tell it.
I was going to say, I'm that wife. I'm so excited.
I have a harem, so go ahead.
Is this a throuple, or am I just like on the outside of that podcast marriage?
It's not considered a throuple. I want to just consider you that I'm my intention and my attention will be on swinging you.
I see. So it's an ethically non-monogamous situation.
Or politically.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good luck with that.
Hey.
Back to your story, Claire.
We just come at it from different angles.
Yes. Ooh. Yes. I'm just the neutral party. I'm just here for all the things.
You're Little Rock, Switzerland. There you go.
That's it.
There you
if
go.
only. So
hold on. I just want to say we met in the liberal mecca of Austin, Texas.
We did.
Just a little side note. We were at a 3-day NLP conference because I wanted to learn how to talk to my students. I was teaching golf at the time. They just weren't getting me yelling at them and telling them exactly what to do. So I had to do it a little bit better way. And my wife decided to drive up from San Antonio. It's about 80 miles. We were having car trouble with one of our cars. And she asked a friend of ours to borrow a car. Well, these friends of ours have all kinds of political stickers on the back of all of their vehicles. And they have like 6 or 7 cars. And it's like, all the things that would trigger anyone in Travis County. And I said, you just need, as you drive up, just be careful when you stop at a red light. So.
Yeah. And so we were talking and I was like, you.
Yes.
I want to know more about you.
Because you and I both stood out because we were sitting in the back.
Yes. And talked all the time.
Yes.
And so she was like, yeah. And I said, and she described herself and she was like, I'm a lesbian and I'm a Republican. And I said,
First of all, I never lead with that because I don't even call myself a lesbian, but okay. We'll let you have that.
But that's the summation I got.
That was what you heard.
That's what I heard. You saw. That's what I received. Lesbian Republican. And I said, how does that work for you? How? I've never met one. You're an anomaly.
Welcome.
And she said, oh, it's real easy. Trump and I have so much in common. We both love to grab pussy. And I said, oh, you're my people.
Yep. But I'm only grabbing one for the last 23 years, I might add.
Yeah, right. 23 years. And she said, oh, you like to grab pussy too? And I said, no. I don't go to Lady Town. I don't grab pussy. I just talk like that. And she said, oh, okay, you are my people.
Yeah. It was interesting. Yesterday, I had a conversation with somebody who is having issues with dating. And they actually called me and asked me, it's like, okay, I need companionship. I might want to dip my toe on the other side of the batter's box. And I'm like, I have no idea. I've been in love with basically 3 people my entire life, and I married the third one, and she just happened to be a woman. The other one was a man, and the other one was a woman. So that's all I know.
Yeah. Well, it's been so
It's
much
fun
ever since.
It's fun. So that was 4 years ago. It was a month. It was 30 days prior to COVID.
Yep.
And then, the world has completely changed and we've gotten even more polarized. But you have brought
100%.
an incredible group and I'm, we might want to plug the producer that is on the side that we see, but many other people do not. That's Darren Clanton, who is our producer.
And he keeps us all in line.
He does. He keeps us literally centered on the center of the page.
Yes.
Bless him. Bless
Claire,
him for trying to herd these cats.
Yeah,
these 3 cats on this
he's
call.
He's in my phone as Darren Wrangling Women Clanton. But I just want to say, I think this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being uncomfortable. I'm looking forward to crying, hugging, kissing, coming up to Little Rock very soon. Talking with our clients, talking about through issues together and trying to come at it from a unified perspective.
Right.
And
I think Brandi Jo, but I need to know something important about you because you know all kinds of things about money and women don't know enough about money. So can you tell everybody what you do?
I am a personal finance coach and I focus on retirement strategies. I founded a company called Altus Retirement Strategies as I came out of my 3rd retirement. I played golf during my 20s, went around the world twice, came back, was injured. The competition got foreigner and younger, and I built a pretty successful financial services firm, sold it, taught golf for 5 years because I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life at 45. And now I'm a one-woman wrangling shop of people that are just trying to get the American dream. But I believe that the American dream has changed, and we just want freedom and not to worry about our money. So I work with a lot of people that are going through divorce because every time they call their attorney, which is a good thing, and sometimes I say call your attorney, that they need to vent, and I don't charge by the hour. So
right.
And it's
so you're helping women. You help women have that financial freedom. I love that because
I help women be financially independent mostly.
There you go. There you go.
And when I came up from Dallas last year in October, that was incredible to be in that room with all of those women that were not, they were open to hear anything. Yeah. I come from an industry where, somebody, and I call it the arrival syndrome, that these people can't learn anything more with money, but they were hungry. They were like sponges. They wanted to know what everybody else knows. And that's the thing, is that knowledge is the key to freedom and financial independence. You just have to work the system. Mm-hmm.
Well, we are taping this episode the week of International Women's Day. And I was trying to explain to my 7-year-old last night why International Women's Day exists. She was asking, she goes, International Women's Day isn't every day my day. Literally says that. Bless her. Every day is your day, Kamala. But there is a day in March 8th, when we celebrate International Women's Day. And so in trying to explain to her why women still need a day, one of the things that I said was not everywhere in the world are women treated equally, and not everywhere in the world do women have the same even legal rights that we have in the United States right now. For example, I was saying to her, not all women have control over themselves, their bodies, their health care, whether they can marry or not, whether they can go to school, and whether they can control their own money. And then she goes and she grabs her piggy bank and she pulls a 20 out of it. And she goes, well, this is mine and you can't have it. So I think we're learning early lessons in financial freedom, but I do think it wasn't until, maybe one of you knows this off the top of your head, it wasn't until the 1970s, am I getting this right, that women could open credit cards in their own name.
Correct.
It was like not a long time ago, right? Correct. So like this conversation about financial freedom,
they had to have a cosigner.
Yeah. Just for having a vagina.
Well, and they still like, ask the question if you're married on a mortgage application.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's total bullshit.
It is.
Well, yes.
Yeah. And I
think so
not all women had the right to vote either.
And you just, I kind of knew
until
this
the
was
1960s.
Okay. So this is good. So Claudia and I have these couples cards. They're called adventure cards or something, the couples edition. And we take out these cards when we go to dinner because we don't want to be that couple that sits on their phones or just stares at each other or stares off into space. So we have these cards. And one of the questions was, and it was to Claudia. And the question was, who would your partner be in another time and place? And she said that I would be a suffragette.
That's a high compliment.
Really?
That I would be just trying to get to Truman and tell him the business. And she says, I don't think you would starve yourself. But
not that kind.
You would be out there in the trenches. And you'd probably get arrested several times.
Yes.
So I took that as the ultimate freaking compliment. And then the backup was like Laura Croft or Tomb Raider or something in like prehistoric age.
You know what I really love? That this is I see this happening already. So you've been with your wife for 23 years, which I think is longer than Gayatri and I have been together. Have been married, put together.
Combined.
Was that a Freudian slip?
Yes. Probably.
Well, no,
whatever.
We already established she's podcast married to you, Brandi Jo, and that I'm just the thing on the side. So, which I'm comfortable with. I would make a very good mistress. I am the podcast mistress, and I'm okay with that.
I love it.
Okay.
Claudia's going to cringe when she hears this.
And then, oh my God. And then I also love that Brandi Jo is going to be the one to teach us about marriage.
Somebody's got to, Claire. Somebody's got to. Which is an important point. I've been divorced 2 years. Last month I was married for 9, and everybody knows Claire's story. But yeah, Brandi Jo, you have been happily married longer than Claire and I were ever married combined.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Fun fact.
I don't know who the hell scheduled this real early in the morning, and it doesn't work for me.
Claire Bear, it's not that early. It's not that early.
Well, and this is just a promo. Hopefully, we're going to have more of these. At a later date, at a later time.
Out.
During the day.
You got four full seasons in of taping these podcasts on your own, and now there's a team. There's a whole team.
I know. And so what I'm just now realizing, though, is so I get an anniversary gift and more birthday gifts. And so, if I'm a podcast wife and I have a mistress, y'all better ante up. That's what I'm hearing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a good gift
We
giver.
got you. We'll get it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm not going to Lady Town. I don't want any of that jazz.
Well, you're not invited to this.
Honey, that's not the assignment. Okay. That's not the assignment here today. No.
As long as we're clear. Well, great. Clear. I know the accent is so thick.
Are we wrapping up? Is that what we're trying to do?
I think so, because you're making me uncomfortable now, and I don't do uncomfortable well.
I love that. During our podcast, I was not your podcast, but on my podcast, I was like sweating. My mother was like, "Who is this person again?"
And why? Yeah, why is she interrogating you as such?
Yeah, she texted me. She's like, I don't think I can release that episode at all.
Well, I have a quick question before we wrap, though. I do. Why are you doing this, Brandi Jo? And I'll ask myself that. And what do we hope that our listeners on this amazing podcast for Power Women get from this show this season?
Connection. The universe brought Claire and I together for a reason. You can call that energy, God, whatever. I call it the universe and God. But I've seen the power of what Claire can do and bring together, and I want to bring it to Texas. I want to bring it to Vegas. I want to bring it to San Diego. I want to bring it all across the world. And it's just, people learn from people that they connect with, and not just that they're attached to, but people that they truly connect with.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, Claire made me so uncomfortable in our first podcast taping ever that I cried for I don't know if you know this, Claire, cried for a while after we got off the phone.
Oh, I did not know
you were
that.
you were one of the first people who pointed out to me that I was living in an incredibly masked situation and striving to be a perfectionist and taking all of my worth and value from the things that I was doing, not from who I was. I know, high five through, and I was like, dang, that woman. I did not like you very much actually after we spoke, because I was really rattled by it. And now, however many years later, I would say that you really helped me start to be who I am and start to just be a more authentic version of who I am, who didn't have to be all buttoned up and whatever, who could just be very, very real.
Yeah.
And people respond to that realness in a way that they do not respond to the inauthenticity. And so, I just, when you were like, let's co-host this podcast, I was like, I'm uncomfortable again, but let's go. Let's go.
I did not know that. And that brings me so much. Thank you for sharing that. That brings me so much joy
that you made me cry. Yeah.
Yes, it brings me so much joy that I brought you to your knees. Thank you.
I love that Gayatri's so quick. I love it.
She is so quick. Yes.
Darren's going to have a hell of a time editing this.
But yes, you're so right. And it is our uniqueness and our authenticity that is what is most important that we share, because it is what draws people to our connection. I think it is, those people that are so polarizing, it is what connects them to others. They are so raw that's what people want. They want someone to be direct. They want someone to be raw, authentically themselves and tell them exactly what's on their minds. And that's what they want. What's missing is someone to do it with love and heart servant leadership.
Amen.
And so I think the three of us align in that. And when we present this raw, authentic self, along with love and the desire to change the world with a heart, that's what will really help impact the world. And that's what we're doing. And that's what is needed in the leadership in our world.
Boom. Good,
Preach,
Claire.
sister.
Yeah.
Boom.
I think you should cut it right there as she said that.
Let's do that all season long. Here we go.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please rate and review on iTunes and check out our website, thepowerwomen.org.